Bobby Lashley's contract with WWE is reportedly set to expire this weekend, with the expectation he will make at least one appearance in All Elite Wrestling. Meanwhile, WWE reportedly has interest in AEW stars Ricky Starks and Daniel Garcia. More details on the impending returns of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. When can we expect the Golden Lovers to return to All Elite Wrestling? It's been reported now that two angles on Raw were to actually cover for actual injuries to Seth Rollins and Dakota Kai. Did you notice last night on AEW Dynamite that Jack Perry's promo was interrupted by a commercial for Taco Bell? WWE's parent company TKO Group Holdings reports record results from the second quarter of 2024. WWE reportedly releases the Vice President of Talent Relations this week. Plus, Scott D'Amore announces his return to professional wrestling with the relaunch of Maple Leaf Wrestling. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the latest status on Bobby Lashley and his WWE contract, which is reportedly set to expire in a matter of days. Fightful Select had noted recently that Bobby Lashley's contract with WWE would be up soon. His Hurt Business partner MVP's contract has already expired, and Lashley's isn't far off. Based on what industry sources have told Fightful Select's Sean Rossap, Lashley's contract will be up as soon as this weekend. Those that Fightful spoke to in WWE during SummerSlam weekend were under the impression that Bobby Lashley would be leaving the company and that there were no creative plans for him in the company moving forward. Fightful say they can confirm he has been discussed backstage in All Elite Wrestling since word of his contract status emerged. However, no offer has been made as Lashley currently remains under contract to World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, Fightful have also been told that Lashley also has interest from the fighting world and in Japan. Those close to him believe he will make at least one appearance in AEW and say he's ready to return to television. Fightful also add a note saying that for those asking, Mustafa Ali is finished with TNA Wrestling for the time being, so he could possibly show up anywhere at any point in time. Of course, he was actually never under contract to TNA. Now, speaking of interest in stars from other companies, WWE reportedly are interested in a couple of current AEW stars. WWE reportedly has interest in AEW stars Absolute Ricky Starks and Daniel Garcia, both whose contracts are close to expiring. Starks, of course, has been absent from AEW television for a few months, with his last appearance taking place on the March 30 episode of AEW Collision. Although there was concern about a potential injury during that match, which led to Top Flight winning instead of Starks and Big Bill, Starks later clarified that he wasn't injured and couldn't explain why AEW hadn't utilized him since. AEW President Tony Khan has expressed in interviews that he'd like to see Starks return. According to a recent report by Fightful, Starks has only rejected one creative idea in recent months, breaking up with Big Bill and then engaging in a feud. Starks believed that such a feud wouldn't be beneficial for Big Bill, preferring a more peaceful separation if indeed it were to happen. Meanwhile, PW Insider is reporting that WWE sources have indicated a clear interest in several AEW stars whose contracts are near expiration or have been off television for a while, including Starks and Daniel Garcia. Now, the exact timing of Stark's AEW contract expiration is still unknown, as is whether there have been any formal discussions between him and WWE. Many fans speculate that Starks could eventually make the move to WWE, given his connections there with figures like Cody Rhodes as well as CM Punk. Now, what about one AEW EVP returning, that being Kenny Omega? Finally, there might be light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the cleaner returning to All Elite Wrestling action. It looks like a Golden Lovers reunion will be happening in AEW when Kenny Omega is able to return. Both Kota Ibushi and Omega have been out of action due to injury issues. Ibushi underwent ankle surgery this January, while Omega had surgery done in May following a bout of diverticulitis. Of course, Omega has not wrestled since December of last year. In a celebration of the 20th anniversary of his pro wrestling debut, Ibushi took part in a 5-minute exhibition for GLEAT last month. He'll compete in a 6-man tag team match for DDT Pro Wrestling on August 25th. Though he's returning to DDT, Ibushi tweeted that AEW is his home and fans will see a full comeback with him and Omega. Dave Meltzer discussed Ibushi's tweet on Wrestling Observer Radio and noted that Omega's health is improving. He said, quote, basically, when Kenny Omega returns, Ibushi is returning, Meltzer said. He basically said he's under contract there and he's waiting for Omega to return for him to return. I don't know if there's even a date of when Omega will return. Put it this way, I don't think it's so far away as before when I would talk about it and go like, I don't even want to think about it. It's a long ways away. He's getting better. I know that. I actually looked up the surgery that he had. Usually for a wrestler, it's about a 4-month recovery. A lot of wrestlers push it and probably come back quicker. But that would be like mid-September. But he had a lot, you know. He didn't just have the hernia problem. I mean, he had a lot of different problems. But like I said, he's coming back. I mean, that's pretty much the word. And I don't think it's like months and months away. I don't want to say this because I feel stupid saying it, because he has not told me anything in this regard. But just the vibe I have is that it will be before the end of the year. And before that, it was just like he'll be back, but who knows when. So when Omega is able to return, he's expected to resume his feud with the Elite, including a teased match against legendary in-ring rival Kazuchika Okada. Now let's cast our mind back to Raw on Monday, and we actually saw two angles that were legitimate injury angles on Raw. If Seth Rollins fought his night at SummerSlam, where he served as the special guest referee for Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, could have gone better, one can only imagine how he feels about this past Monday's Raw. After squabbling with McIntyre and Punk again, Rollins was attacked by Big Bronson Reed, who proceeded to hit Rollins with the tsunami over and over and over and over and over again, leaving Rollins in a crumpled heap. As it turns out, though, the reason for Reed's attack may have been more than just to set up an eventual feud between the two. On Thursday morning's Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that Reed's attack on Rollins was done to cover up for an actual injury Rollins is dealing with. Meltzer noted that Rollins' injury wasn't that serious, but was also unable to provide a timetable for how long Rollins will be out for. The former World Heavyweight Champion has been, or previously had been, absent for several months this year, recovering from a torn meniscus in his knee that he suffered earlier on in the year. It's unclear if Rollins is still dealing with said injury or if he suffered another one. The Rollins Reed's beatdown wasn't the only angle on Raw used to cover for an injury, though. Meltzer also revealed that an angle that saw Dakota Kai being attacked backstage by Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler was done to write off Kai. It's unclear what injury Kai is suffering from, though. Deville, Stark, and Baszler focused on her knee during the attack. No timetable was given for her return. Of course, Kai was previously forced to miss 9 months of action due to a torn ACL suffered last May, though she continued to appear on screen as Damage Control's manager. Of course, we get any more details on Rollins' injury or Dakota Kai's injury, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, social media certainly picked up on this, and I wonder if you did as well. The August 7th AEW Dynamite saw a promo package featuring TNT champion Jack Perry getting himself in the right frame of mind for his upcoming title defense at Wembley Stadium against Darby Allin. The two men have been at each other's throats whenever the Elite and the AEW loyalists have crossed paths, with Darby Allin always attempting to set Perry on fire. However, while international viewers that watched on things like Triller TV saw Perry smash up a bunch of old televisions with former TNT champions on them, fans who watched on TBS saw something completely different. As the video package just got underway, an advertisement for Taco Bell aired right in the middle of it, meaning that everyone who watched live had to go on social media to view the full promo. To make things even stranger, rather than the ad leading into a full commercial break, the end of the promo snuck its way back onto TV, with Darby Allin's promo segment following immediately afterwards. If you're not sure exactly what this looked like, you can go see on social media what fans would have saw. The show also experienced some audio issues during MJF and Kyle Fletcher's match at the beginning of the show, but they were quickly sorted out before too many people noticed. Despite winning the TNT Championship at Forbidden Door, Perry has only defended the title once, that being in a short match against his former tag team partner Marco Stunt on AEW Collision in July. On the other hand, Darby Allin has been very active since returning from injury and continues that trend this Friday on AEW Rampage when he goes one-on-one with The Butcher and will most likely want to get a few more reps in before he attempts to dethrone Jack Perry at Wembley Stadium at All In. Now, certainly positive news when it comes to WWE's parent company, TKO Group Holdings, because it's safe to say that business is booming for WWE at the moment, and really it has been for the past 2 years. 2024 has seen an uptick in comparison to 2022 and 2023, however, with WWE continuing to set gate records for PLEs such as WrestleMania, Backlash and Money in the Bank, and ticket sales in general on the rise. As such, it's no surprise that all of this reflects well in the business metrics of WWE's parent company, TKO. In a press release unveiled this morning, TKO reported record results for the second quarter earning in 2024. The corporation drew revenue of $851.2 million, net income of $150.7 million, and adjusted EBITDA of $420.9 million. In the case of revenue and EBITDA, both numbers represent a quarterly record in TKO's short history. Overall revenue and adjusted EBITDA increased 179% and 142% respectively from earnings in the second quarter of 2023, while net income increased $68.9 million from $81.8 million to $150.7 million. While the numbers represent money brought in from both WWE and UFC, another member of TKO, WWE's numbers were a bigger reason for the increase, with the promotion drawing $456.8 million in revenue compared to the UFC's $394.4 million, while WWE's EBITDA was $251.3 million, albeit offset by corporate expenses compared to the UFC's $231.9 million. As a result of these increases, TKO has adjusted their 2024 financial guidelines in anticipation of the year being even bigger than previously thought. The corporation has now increased its revenue target from $2.670 billion to $2.745 billion and adjusted EBITDA from $1.220 billion to $1.240 billion. As such, barring an unforeseen turn of events, it appears WWE can expect to be rolling in the green for the foreseeable future. Now, speaking of the corporate environment in WWE, there's been a bit of a corporate shakeup this week at an executive level because another high-ranking WWE executive who spent more than 15 years with the company has been let go, according to a report by PW Insider. Kristen Altman was WWE's Vice President of Talent Relations. She steadily rose through the ranks after being hired as a receptionist for Titan Tower in 2008. Altman later moved up to roles like Talent Relations Coordinator, Manager of Talent Relations and Developmental, and Senior Manager of Talent Relations and Developmental. In August 2022, Altman was promoted to Vice President of Talent Relations, serving in the position for 2 years before her dismissal. According to Altman's LinkedIn profile, her responsibilities included WWE's Talent Wellness Program, including organizing and executing medical examinations, drug testing, semi-annual blood work, physical exams, cardio evaluations, impact testing, and medical referrals, working with all newly hired talent by conducting background searches, booking pre-contract medical screening, assisting with independent contractors' agreements, and assisting with the relocation process. Recruit domestically and internationally for potential WWE superstars and divas, and organize tryout camps and individual tryouts, book extra talent for WWE TV events, and fill very specific talent needs, demographics, skills, etc. on a very short-term notice, mainly day of. Now, the reason for Altman's dismissal is currently unknown, but the WWE UFC merger into TKO Group Holdings has triggered several corporate shakeups in the last few months. In June, WWE released Executive Vice President of WWE Television Chris Kaiser, and in May, Vice President of International Events and General Manager of Emerging Markets Michael Levin was also let go. And finally, Scott D'Amore is back in professional wrestling. Yes, the former TNA president has returned. 2024 has surely not been the year Scott D'Amore envisioned it would be. The former TNA president was fired from the promotion back in February, a move that sent shockwaves through the wrestling industry and left TNA at the time in a bit of an uncertain state, though the promotion has seemingly rebounded thanks to a partnership with WWE NXT. D'Amore has been out of the public eye since then, with many wondering what his next move would be. As it turns out, his next move is to bring back a long-dead promotion from the territory days. On Thursday, D'Amore announced the relaunch of Maple Leaf Wrestling, with himself as president as Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. The promotion will hold back-to-back shows titled Forged in Excellence, October 19th and 20th at St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, with TNA stars Josh Alexander, Giselle Shaw, and Jake Something, New Japan star Kushida, Raj Desi, and Trevor Lee, former WWE superstars Jinder Mahal and Cameron Grimes, and more announced. Quote, for 6 decades, Maple Leaf Wrestling hosted a who's who of the world's greatest wrestlers, D'Amore said in a statement. Legends like Lou Thesz, Bruno Sammartino, Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, and Rowdy Roddy Piper all competed in Maple Leaf. Now we're bringing that legacy back with modern day legends from WWE, New Japan, TNA, AEW, and beyond. Founded in 1930 by Jack Corrigan, Maple Leaf Wrestling would later become known for being run by the Tunney family and serving as a Canadian territory for the NWA from 1948 to 1984, when it was sold and absorbed into WWE. Resurrecting the promotion appears to have been on D'Amore's mind for a little while, as he filed to trademark Maple Leaf Wrestling all the way back in May. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.